Okay. We have hit. What's going on, guys? It's your boy J Dog. We have hit UFC 329 fight week, bro. It's crazy. They're going back to Vegas, T-Mobile Arena, and this is a super sick card. Pretty stacked. I'm very excited for this card, and there's three fights that I'm like very 50-50 on, but I came to a conclusion, but I'm still 50-50, but I came to a person that I'm going to pick to win the fight. So, yeah, man, let's get into it. All right. This is going to be a good card. Good card. This might, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I got a lot to say about some of these fights, all right? First fight of the night. It won't let me click on it open, but Alessandro Costa versus Cody Durden, bro. I'm going with Alessandro Costa. He's really good. Um, he's obviously Diego Lopez's boy, so. And, he took that Matt Chanel fight on short notice and chinned him, which we expect. And Cody Durden's also not top tier. Now, I know Cody Durden stepped in on short notice to fight that guy in his last fight. He stepped in on short notice and he won the fight, so fair enough to him. But he's not that top level, and Alessandro, he's very good. His most recent loss was to an injury, and so that's why he lost his most recent fight, I'm pretty sure. But I think he's gonna go in there. I think he's gonna be able to outstrike Cody Durden, and I think he's gonna go to a decision. I think it's gonna most likely gonna go to a decision. So I'm gonna go with Alessandro Costa, stepping in on short notice to win this one. Ryan Gondra versus Zachary Reese. This one's a little tough because Ryan Gondra has beat Jose Medina, and everyone's literally beat Jose Medina. Zachary Reese beat him, but Zachary Reese beat him by decision, so that's not a good look, where Ryan Gondra knocked him out. But Zachary Reese, I know he lost his last fight to Michel Pereira, but it was a split decision, and it was very close. Otherwise, beating McVeigh on short notice was good. Obviously, no contest. Beat Tvrčić, lost to Bakov, though. Zachary Reese has a decent... Oh, he lost to Cody Brundelich, though. That is bad, but... beating... These are all bums, obviously. Bakov stepped in on short notice and beat him, and then lost to Michel Pereira. By split decision, it was very close. So, I'm actually going to go with Zachary Reese. I just feel like Ryan Gondra, we saw him in one fight. Obviously, I think he had a Dana White Contender Series fight, I think. But obviously, we've seen him fight a bum, beat the bum. Better than Zachary Reese, but Zachary Reese just longer time in the UFC. And he looked pretty good in his last fight. Obviously lost it by split, but yeah, I'm going to go with Zachary Reese. I think he's a slight underdog. So yeah, we're going with a slight underdog. Sadly, this fight is not happening. Farid Basharat versus Ethan Ewing. I was going to go with Ethan Ewing, but, hopefully they get this rebooked or Farid opponent. If it's a short notice opponent, I'll probably go with Farid to win. If they get him a matchup by the time I film this, I'm probably going to go with Farid because he's more prepared. He is very good, and he'll probably beat whatever can steps in on short notice. But if he was fighting Ethan Ewing, I'd probably go with Ewing, but we'll move on. Damian Penis versus Cesar Almeida. Now, I like Cesar Almeida, man. I liked him. I thought he was pretty sick. And then he obviously lost to Roman Kopylov, and he lost to Olazejczyk, not Michelle, but his brother Olazejczyk. So he's now lost 2 fights. I don't know if they're in a row. I think they're in a... No. He beat Abdul Harakhasan in the meantime. Yeah. Oh, and Poitier. Okay, well, he lost to him, and then he obviously lost to Olazejczyk. And Damian Pinas is really good, so I'm going to go with Damian Pinas to win this one. Obviously, he beat West Party Time Schultz, the GOAT himself. But yeah, That's a can. But I'm gonna go with Damian Pinas. You know, he's very good, and Cesar Almeida has 0 wrestling, and he can strike. But Pinas, I think he's gonna get this one done. So I'm gonna go with Damian Pinas. This isn't one of the 3 that I'm torn up on, but you know, Tracy Cortez's grappling could outdo Wang Kong's, but I think Wang Kong's striking is better, and so I am gonna go with Wang Kong. I'm not set on Wang Kong, to be honest, but I am gonna go with Wang Kong. And so I just think her striking's better than Tracy Cortez's, and I don't know if Tracy's gonna be able to get the takedowns, but if she does, I feel like she will dominate on the ground. So Tracy Cortez has a very good chance of winning this fight, but if it gets to the ground, but if Wang Kong can stuff the takedowns, I think it's gonna be Wang Kong outstriking Tracy Cortez to a decision. So I'm gonna go with Wang Kong to win this one, but I will not be surprised whoever wins. Okay, this is one of the ones I'm stuck on, bruh. And I know it's probably like, bro, what? Dude, pick Luke Riley, 13-0, bro. I know, but Kai Katamarka the third, he put on a banger fight in his last fight. There was some heavy shots he ate, which is not a good look, but he ate them. He didn't get chinned. He didn't get wobbled. He ate those and pushed through the fight and won the fight. It's good to see he had one fight in the UFC since coming back to the UFC before just fighting Luke Riley right away. So, and I know I thought Luke Riley had a pretty tough fight against Michael Aswell Jr., which I know he 30-27'd him, but I was kind of like, damn, I expected Luke Riley to do better in this fight, to be honest. Like, look way better than he did. And obviously get the grappling in his first fight against Bogdan Grad looked pretty bad. Obviously chinned him in round 2, but yeah, it didn't look good in the first round of that fight. And then I just wasn't super impressed with his fight against Michael Aswell Jr. And then I kind of was like, okay, I think Michael Aswell Jr. is going to beat that Gaston Bolaños guy or whatever. And Gaston Bolaños 29-28's him, wins the fight unanimously. Obviously didn't 30-27 him, but then I was just kind of like, damn, Gaston Bolaños beat Michael Aswell too? Like, that's not a good look for Luke Riley. And so, I just feel like Luke Riley, I just haven't seen anything impressive from him yet. And so, and I think Kai Kamaka looked, obviously did get cracked in his fights, but I think he's pretty tough. He's durable, he's tough, and he's a dog. And I think he'll be able to stand in there with Luke Riley, and I think he could possibly catch him. But I think I'm gonna go Kai Kamaka the third to win by decision. So he's a big underdog, I think. Yeah, plus 235. But I am gonna go with Kai Kamaka. So that's my underdog pick. I'm very torn because I feel like, yeah, it's just a layup for Luke Riley. But then when I look, I'm like, dude, Kai Kamaka is pretty good. So I'm gonna go Kai Kamaka, but I will not be surprised if Luke Riley wins. That's what my 50-50 ones are. I'm not surprised if they win, you know? Cody Garbrandt versus Adrian Yanez. I'm gonna go with Adrian Yanez. Cody Garbrandt obviously won his last fight, but he won it via point deductions. It was he literally lost 2 rounds. The scorecards was, I don't even remember what they were, but I'm pretty sure the scorecards were like 2 rounds to 1. So his opponent won 2 rounds and he only won 1 round. So he should have lost. But because of all the nut shots, there was the point deductions, which led up to Cody Garbrandt somehow winning the fight. So I think it was like a 27-26 for Cody Garbrandt. It was super weird because he got like 2 point deductions. So it was really weird. But he just didn't look great in that fight, sadly. And, I'm here for the Cody Garbrandt re-title run, but in his last fight, even though he won it via point deduction, he literally almost lost it. And Adrian Yanez coming back from break to fight Ricky Simón in Vegas, which I saw. I was quite surprised with how good he looked. And, yeah, I think just with the way he looked, I think he's going to beat Cody Garbrandt. I think he's going to TKO Cody Garbrandt, to be honest. I was very impressed with how good he looked. I think Adrian Yanez is pretty sick. Like hit that last fight he had was pretty sick. He looked really really good, and I don't know. I'm just excited to see him fight, and I do think he's gonna beat Cody Garbrandt. So I'm gonna go with Adrian Yanez to win this one. This is a banger fight. Obviously the odds show that. Okay, look at the odds of this one, bro. Oh, why won't let me scroll up? Negative 2,500 to a plus 1,100. Now, this guy, he got chinned. I don't know if he got chinned, but he lost to Brando Pericic, who is now a ranked heavyweight, showing how good he really is. But, it's not like he lost to not Tai Tuivasa. It's not like he lost to Sergey Pavlovich, like a big name in the heavyweight division, right? He just lost to Brando Pericic, who's making his way up, but crazy odds. And I'm sadly gonna have to pick Gable Steveson to win this one. They didn't give him, they didn't do the Josh. Well, I mean, Josh Hoka had 2 layup fights before he fought Curtis Blades, which I didn't know. I thought they might give Gable Steveson a ranked fight right away, but it looks like they're gonna try and ease him into the UFC. So I'm gonna go Gable Steveson to win this one. Sadly, not a fan of him. I will. When he starts getting into the rankings of certain heavyweight guys, like Taliesin, I'll probably pick him to beat Taliesin. But when we start getting the Curtis Blades and the Volkovs, and I don't know, that's pretty high up in the heavyweight division. But when we start getting into there, I'm going to start picking against him. But sadly, I'm going to have to pick Gable Steveson because this is just an obvious layup. Maybe sprinkle a little money on Elisha Ellison, just with the hoping for the fluke. And if he hits that fluke, trust me, my recap video, I'm going to be so happy. But I just expect Gable Steveson to go out there. Honestly, he hasn't gone the distance, I don't think. He's only like 3 MMA fights deep. But honestly, if Ellison could drag him into like the 2nd and 3rd round, Stevenson might be gassed. And Ellison might be able to win the fight. So, maybe it's not crazy to pick Ellison, but I'm going to go Gable Steveson. I think he's going to go out all in the first round, like big, energetic takedowns, like putting all his energy to get the takedown, trying to finish the fight. And I think if he doesn't finish, and I think he will finish the fight, and so I'm going to go Gable Steveson. But if he doesn't finish the fight, he might be gassed, and Ellison might be able to beat him. So, we're hoping for the Ellison upset at plus 1,100. Might put a little money on that, but at the same time, obvious pick, I think, is Gable Steveson, so I'm going to go with him. We'll wait for the hate watch. Robert Whittaker versus Nikita Krylov. Now, this is one of my 50-50 fights, and I've come to my decision. I'm going to go with Nikita Krylov. And that hurts me to say because Robert Whittaker's on a 2-fight lose streak. I really want him. I really want him to win. And I wanted to win his next fight regardless, but obviously he moved up to light heavyweight, and they're giving him a ranked fighter right away. Like, I saw RDR got he moved up to light heavyweight. He got an opponent at light heavyweight, and he got Roman Fradlidze so they both moved up. I'm just saying Whittaker could easily beat Roman Dolidze, bro. But they gave him a ranked light heavyweight. And the problem I have is that Nikita Krylov is just naturally bigger, a more natural 205er. And he's just taller, longer. I just think he has all the advantages here, sadly. And so I saw photos of Robert Whittaker next to like Dan Hooker and stuff, and he's like shorter than Dan Hooker. So I just feel like Nikita, and the fact Nikita Krylov did get chinned by Reyes and Bogdan Guskov, but he did clutch up against Modestas Bukauskas, who was like an up and coming guy again, back on his run. And he's able to not only put on a good performance, but stop him in the 3rd round. And so it shows that he actually still has like skills there to win the first 2 rounds and be winning the 3rd round before chinning him. So he did look really good in his last fight, which adds to me picking him. And so, I'll be happy if I get this one wrong and Robert Whittaker clutches up. I really want him to get that win, but I just feel like this is not a good matchup. I feel like he could have got, some unranked guy, some easier welcoming to the 205 division, but he got Nikita Krylov, who I do think is probably bottom of the barrel in the ranked sense of it. So if he can't beat Nikita Krylov, I think he's not going to ever be ranked, because I don't think he'll beat any other ranked guy. But yeah, if he can't beat Nikita Krylov, he's not ever going to be ranked at 205. I wish he would have got a layup fight entering into the 205 division, but sadly it is Nikita Krylov, which I think he's going to pull off the win. I think he's the favorite on the website, but he's the favorite on the website, but on the betting sites, I saw he was the underdog. I'm kind of eyeing that up, but, hope Robert Whittaker wins, but I'm going to have to go with Nikita Krylov, man. So that's my other 50-50 fight, because I'm like, I'm just very torn. Main card. This main card's insane, dude. Okay? Insane main card. King Green versus Terrence McKinney. King Green is the underdog. That's always good money. When you're in a Terrence McKinney fight, betting on the underdog always seems like a good option. Obviously not in the Kyle Nelson fight. I was like, dang, Kyle Nelson's the underdog. That would be good money. And then he obviously loses. And King Green's been doing his thing. Obviously, having his resurgence, beating Lance Gibson Jr., Daniel Zellhuber, and Jeremy Stevens. And, Terrence could get added to the list. And that's the problem. Terrence is going to go in there, and he's either going to chin Green or Green's going to chin him. And I'm going to go with Terrence McKinney, man. I know he's the favorite, and I think it's worth. I think Terrence McKinney's just going to be more crazy to say, but, I think King Green... I don't know what I was trying to say there. I was trying to think it over in my head. I think Terrence is going to go out there, obviously, be a little excited and super exciting first 30 seconds, and I think he's gonna chin Green. Maybe not out cold, but I think he's gonna get a TKO. So I'm gonna go Terrence McKinney to win this one. Sick fight though. This is such a sick fight. And the underdog always seems to be worth it, man. Brandon Royval versus Loner Kavanagh. Man, dude. I feel bad because Royval's now going to... He lost to Van and he lost to Manel Cap. And I like Brandon Royval. I wish if he was literally... I don't know. If he was fighting a Muriel Bozzi, I'm just trying to think of bums that they could have given him. I would have picked Brandon Royval, and I really do like him. But I do really like Loner Kavanagh. And I think he is very good. So obviously he lost and got chinned by Charles Johnson, but he was winning the first round. He obviously took short notice fight against Moreno and styled on him, beat Moreno, which he is a little washed Moreno, but he styled on Moreno in there. And I've been a fan of this guy since his Contender Series fight. I think he fought on the very first week of the Contender Series in his season. And he beat Jose Ochoa. He beat Daniel Santos, I think not Daniel Santos, Felipe Santos? Can't remember fully, but he's been on a little good run. Or Felipe Dos Santos, but this is a good win. Ochoa is a good win. Dos Santos is a good win. Was beating him, but did lose, yes. But this was a big jump up, and he showed that he could beat Moreno, so I think he could beat Royval. It's gonna be a 6 stand-up match. Dude, Loner Kavanagh versus Joshua Van for the belt is literally my perfect flyweight title fight, but also my worst because I want them both to win. But I think I picked against Loner Kavanagh against Moreno too, man, which makes me so mad because I believe in the guy. I do think he's very good, and I believe that I really did want him to win the fight, but I did pick Moreno to win just based off my picks. And yeah, I got that pick wrong, but I'm very happy I got it wrong because I'm so happy Loner Kavanagh won. So I hope he can. Royval is very good, even though he's coming off 2 losses, but I'm really hoping Loner Kavanagh does win this one. He does have very good hands, and I thought Royval was durable and had good hands, but Manel Cap obviously took him out. So that's what also leading me towards Kavanagh winning. So I'm going to go with Loner Kavanagh, but this is another sick fight. 2 for 2 on the main card, bruh. A rematch, Corey Sandhagen versus Mario Bautista. I'm going to go Corey Sandhagen to win this one. Obviously Bautista, he lost to Umar, who is very good. They both lost to Umar, and then obviously beat Vinicius Oliveira. But we know he won his last fight, Vinicius, but we know his ground game was not good, and that's where Bautista was able to dominate him. Has Sandhagen had a fight since the Marab fight? I don't think so, to be honest. No, his last fight was Marab, and he did get he was hurt he got literally rocked by Marab on the feet, so that's not a good look. But I think in this fight, Sandhagen has very good takedown defense, or I think he has really good getting up from the takedowns. So I think if Bautista does take him down, he's going to be able to get up, and I think his striking is levels above Mario's, and so I do see Corey Sandhagen beating him. I think he beat him in the first fight. I can't remember how he beat him. He subbed him. Damn, he subbed Bautista in the first round. So, I think on the feet, Corey Sandhagen's going to catch Mario on the feet. So, I'm going to go with Corey Sandhagen. I saw someone say Bautista's going to be able to out-grapple him a lot, but I just feel like Corey has really good stand-up, get up. No, I don't know if he has good takedown defense, but once he gets taken down, he gets up. It seems like all the time. So, I'm going to go Corey Sandhagen and be able to stop the ground game by either stopping takedowns or getting up from them and just dominating on the feet. Probably to a decision. Probably to a decision for Corey Sandhagen. And this is the last one I'm torn on, man. Benoit Saint Denis versus Paddy Pimblett. I'm 50-50 on this fight. I was leaning towards Benoit Saint Denis, and then I watched him versus Dan Hooker. They posted that video. I watched that fight, and Dan Hooker's locking up guillotines on BSD, and BSD's just letting his neck open. And then I was like, dang, Paddy's obviously has a better guillotine and better submissions than Dan Hooker, so he's gonna lock that thing up on BSD. And so I was leaning towards Paddy Pimblett the last couple days, and then I was back in 50-50 mode. And my official pick for this fight is I'm gonna go with Benoit Saint Denis to win this one. I think Benoit Saint Denis is gonna win. Now I feel like their striking is very matched. Paddy does not have great hands. BSD has better hands, but I still don't think they're that great. And I just think his wins are better. Now, I know, well, let's do a quick thing. Paddy beat, we're not even going to, literally lost this one. Ferguson on his lose streak. And beat King Green, which is a decent win with how he's going now, but at the time it was like, who cares? Beat Michael Chandler, who's literally on a lose streak now, and then lost to Gaethje, who is the champ, so that's a good aging loss, right? And with BSD, when he lost to Poirier, right? Lost to Poirier, and then he lost to Mike Connor, right? Prepolek's not a great win. Dariush, knocking him out in 16 seconds is pretty good, but still, Dariush isn't great. Dan Hooker's not great, but Rufy is a really good win. Beating Mauricio Rufy, especially Rufy coming back and knocking out Fiziev and beating Chandler now, obviously. But beating Fiziev was, I think, a great win for Rufy, and that just shows how good Benoit is. And so I think Benoit's going to be better on the feet. I think they are very close on the feet, but I think Benoit's going to be better on the feet. And if it goes to the ground, I think it's going to be... I'm just scared for BSD's neck, leaving his neck open and Paddy locking that thing up. But I think BSD's going to be able to just... Lucas Racy says he's a marauder. I think he's going to be able to just to push through anything that Paddy Pimblett tries to do on the feet. And on the ground, it's going to be very even. So that's where I'm kind of 50-50. Is mostly on the ground. But I'm leaning towards Benoit Saint Denis. So I think Paddy Pimblett as an underdog is a very good bet to make. Because Paddy Pimblett has plot armor. And they could rig the fight for him if it's close. So him as an underdog is a very good pick. I'm looking at maybe throwing some money on that. But overall, I think Benoit Saint Denis is going to win this fight. And Yeah, I'm still super 50-50. I'm not sold on either guy winning or either guy losing, to be honest. Like, I think they're both really, really close. So, but I am going to pick BSD. And main event of the night, man, Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway in the main event. I'm going with Max Holloway. Obviously, Max Holloway's literally my favorite top. I don't know. I really like Diego Lopez, obviously. So Max Holloway's like my top two, maybe number two, maybe number two, maybe Diego Lopez is number one, but he's literally in my top two of favorite fighters ever. Um, I'm going Max Holloway. Now I know it's at 170, so he's gonna have to put on some weight. He might look a little chunky, maybe, but I think he's still gonna be the same Max Holloway in there. Um, with Conor McGregor, yeah, I don't think it's ridiculous to pick Conor McGregor, maybe because we don't really know what he looks like nowadays. I think after the first round, after the first round of this fight, um, is when you can really make a prediction. To be honest, so if you see McGregor literally not being able to do anything on the feet, you're just like Max is gonna win. But if you see McGregor like blocking, dodging, and then like getting his shots in on Max, you might be like, dang, McGregor's still that guy. So it's hard to make a pick, to be honest, on this fight until the first round, I feel like. But I'm gonna go with Max. Um, Obviously he lost to Oliveira in a very grappling heavy fight, and so I don't think McGregor's gonna grapple like Oliveira. He might shoot takedowns, but Max not as good. He might shoot takedowns, but not as good as Oliveira's. So I think Max has a better chance of defending them or stopping them, and a better chance of getting up from them because McGregor, he got up from Ilya's takedown. He got up from Ilya taking him down. McGregor's not Oliveira's type of like gonna be able to hold him down like Oliveira. So I feel like that's what people are saying. Like Max got dominated on the ground. McGregor's not Oliveira. He's not gonna dominate on the ground like Oliveira. So I'm gonna go. I just think Max is gonna do better on the feet. I don't think it's gonna go to the ground, honestly. Like McGregor might initiate the grappling, but I don't think it's gonna go to the ground. And yeah, I think Max is just gonna be better on the feet until the first. And honestly, after the first round is when you really make your pick. I feel like, which is kind of cheating because you're seeing how the fight's going basically after the first round. But it's just because McGregor's been out for 5 years, so it's really hard. And so I'd be, it'd be sick if McGregor won, but I'm gonna be crushed if Max loses and goes on a 2-fight lose streak. You know what I'm saying? And so I will be crushed if Max loses. I'll be less crushed if McGregor loses, but it would be an absolute insane moment in time if McGregor comes back after 5 years and beats Holloway, and he's eyeing up. I don't know if he's gonna stay at welterweight, but he might be eyeing up that 55 like title, or if he stays at welterweight. I think he's cooked at welterweight if he fights any ranked guy at welterweight. But if he wins this one and wants another fight at 55, it'd be such an insane fight, his next fight, knowing how good he looked in this fight if he beats Holloway. But what a time, man. But I'm going to go with Holloway, obviously. I keep saying that. But this is such a sick card. Like an insane pay-per-view. Like when you're comparing 325 and 324 was pretty good, but you know what I'm saying? 326. Like when you're comparing these cards, 329 is absolutely stacked. And so my final predictions for this card is Alessandro Costa, Zachary Reese. I really wish Ethan Ewan was on the card, man. Damian Pinas, Damian Pinos, Wang Kong, which I'm happy, which I don't care if Tracy Cortez wins. Kai Kakamaka, the third, which Luke Riley might win. That's 50-50. I'm going to go with Adrian Yanez, Gable Steveson. I'm going to go with Nikita Krylov, but I wouldn't be mad if Whitaker wins. I'm going to go with Terrence McKinney, Loner Kavanagh, Corey Sandhagen, Benoit Saint Denis, and Max Holloway. So those are the picks for the card, man. Sick card, as I already said. Yeah, I appreciate y'all. like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I'm really looking forward to the recap video of this, because when we get the results, man, oof, it's going to be either very happy or very bad. So we'll see. But I'm excited for this fight. I'm excited to do the recap on this video, which I'll see you guys probably in the next video doing that. But yeah, man, enjoy the fights this weekend. It's going to be good. So appreciate y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And I think this might be my longest prediction video in a while, to be honest. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Appreciate y'all. Deuces.